Everybody, this is Indie D, man. Chilling like a villain, singing like Bob Dylan. Keep it on low with some double stuff. Oreos. And it's not too often that, the internet can be a really crazy, weird place, but it's not too often that you meet some really cool and nice people. And this duo, this couple that I'm about to talk to right now, I met them. And they're just really positive and really awesome. Um, and they have quite a following on TikTok. And they recently just started doing a podcast about love, relationships, and everything else. And I just think they're incredibly awesome, and I'm honored to have them on the show today. I want to welcome Teddy and Jenny on the show right now. What's up, guys? How you doing today?
Hey, good.
Hey,
How you doing?
Hey, what's going on? So how's the weather in your area? You don't have, I know, you don't have to say where you live at, but like right now it's like kind of cold and rainy where I'm at. So how are things over there?
It's starting to feel that way right now.
Yeah.
It's really, really weird actually.
Biblical outside. So we've been told by the lady at Starbucks today.
Okay. Yeah.
It's weird weather today, and there's like birds flocking about everywhere. It's just kind of like something from a Alfred Hitchcock film.
I was just about to make a reference to Alfred Hitchcock because I was like, my nephew, God bless him, he hates birds. So if there's like too many flying around, he's not a big fan of that. I wanted to give a moment of silence on Cindy Williams of Laverne and Shirley. She passed away. And of course, the victims in Turkey, with the earthquake and everything like that. So I wanted to give a moment of silence for those folks real quick. Guys, I appreciate that. No so, everybody has an origin story. You two, I wanted to know, how did you guys first meet, and what were your first impressions of each other?
You want to start off with that one?
Well, we both first met in high school. In class, we were going through a program at that time as driver's ed.
We're that old. That doesn't exist anymore.
So I had driver's ed too.
So it was something that I wasn't always a great kid in school. I was okay. I was good, but
he was the bad boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was attracted to him. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so the first couple of days in driver's ed, because it wasn't a huge curriculum, I pretty much slept the first 2-3 days.
He did.
Until the teacher got tired of it, and he's like, he slammed his book on my desk. It's like, hey, you can't do that in here. But eventually, as I started to look up, I noticed Jenny looking at me as she was trying to get my attention.
Nice.
Yeah, for like 2 days, I was like literally praying in my head, God, please let him turn around. Please let him turn around. Let him wake up.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was pretty, I guess, shocking to see someone else looking at me at that time, in that moment. I wasn't expecting it. But then again, at the same time, she attracted me so much that I couldn't keep my eyes off her as well. So eventually, as we continuously did eye flirting from a distance, we were literally across from the classroom from each other. I muster up courage enough to approach Jenny at that time. And
that was an epic failure.
Yeah, we were walking up the classroom, and as we walked up to the classroom, I said the most corniest line, which is one of our segments that you'll hear later on. Those of us that follow us on our podcast.
Okay.
But I did. It's so corny. I said, "Hey, I noticed we had this eye contact thing going on," and that was it.
That was it?
Yeah, that was it.
I was so
nervous.
I was not a nice girl. I was a mean girl in high school, and I didn't date. I had never dated before. So I had an attitude, typical Hispanic Puerto Rican attitude. So I was like, no, I just happened to look that way. And I flung my hair and I walked away.
Yeah.
And he followed.
So you can imagine, you know, you being a guy, if you ever been rejected on the fly for a moment.
Oh yeah, many times. Yeah.
It hit me hard. I was like, what the heck? Then what was I seeing? Was I seeing something wrong? Was it somebody else? But there's nobody else behind me except for me. So, you know, we just pursued, and we kept on talking as friends, and you know, it continuously grew into a relationship after a few weeks, months goes by.
He asked me though what really started it. We would talk on the phone, and then he asked me one day, he's like, so what would you do if I were to kiss you? And so I was like, I'd kiss you back. And then the next day we kissed for the first time. So yeah.
And just to let the audience know, like when you say on the phone, this is not a cell phone. This is like a rotary phone.
With the cord. You know how with
landline,
the cord, landline. There was no cell phones back in those. There's no computers back in those days. Like those box computers.
We're probably gonna date ourselves, but the AOL dial-up is like iconic back then.
Right.
Yeah, that was just starting. You know the noise that you knew you logged on there. You got all excited.
Yep. Yep.
And then you finally see the connection on there.
We're that old.
I love it. Everything you guys are saying, because I'm like picturing it in my head. It's like a movie almost. You know what I'm saying? Slamming down of the book. You know, you waking up, you look over, you see her. It's kind of like an episode of Saved by the Bell almost. You know what I mean?
Well,
that was one of our shows.
I don't remember they snuck out and Saved by the Bell, but we used to sneak out to go meet up and see each other.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good old days.
I don't know how much of this we should say if our kids ever listen to this, or, you know, family members and all. But my mom and my grandmother would make fun of me because they encountered it on the back end.
So bad.
So yeah, it was unbelievable.
Sneaking out the windows, stealing cars. It was pretty bad. We were bad.
Oh wow!
Not stealing car, like
stealing family members' cars.
Okay. It's not Grand Theft Auto or nothing like that.
No.
So, yeah.
No,
it was borrowing. He would take it and roll it down the hill, and then wait till he got to the stop sign, and then turn it on to go pick me up.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That's crazy. At what point did you realize that you guys were falling in love? Like the L word. That's the big thing.
Well, that's for me. I haven't felt that way about anyone in my lifetime. Yeah, obviously being younger. So for me, it was relatively quicker. Some would say probably it's puppy love or first love thing, which she is my first love.
Same.
But I felt that it was much more than that, just because of talking with her one-on-one, getting to know her. I think it was something long-term, and it was something that ideally as a kid, I think everybody has an idea as you speak to your parents of future relationships and maybe where you want to be, where you want to grow.
Yeah.
Of where I think where I seen Jen long-term with me, even at that young of an age. So It was something that I caught on. Me personally, you know, I'm very goal-driven. Yeah. And you know, if I know something that I want or where I want to be, and that fits in with my life, I think that is how I knew. I was part of it. That's not the whole part, but that's part of it. I think Jen will on the rest.
It was mutual. He's my first boyfriend and my first love, my first everything. And I mean, I used to say it was love at first sight, but as I got older, I realized that's not really a thing. It was more lust at first sight, you know? But we got, in 1997, we got in a horrendous car accident with a semi truck. And the roof came down. We went underneath the truck. It drug us, how many feet, babe?
I think it was over 50 feet. So if you can imagine, not a truck, but a semi truck on the back end of the trailer of a semi truck.
Yeah.
Our vehicle would drive. We were riding with some friends going home for the day after school. His vehicle, he was trying to avoid the tractor trailer on the roadway, and he hit the back end of the tractor trailer, the trailer back end of it, and right there where the wheels are and the back end of the trailer, we ran underneath to the point where the entire car was crushed from the head portion, where we all could have been decapitated.
The top, the back, like a tuna can. and
Wow.
it sliced open my face. It was really horrendous. I was in a coma, and I mean, Teddy was he still is an attractive man. Everyone at school wanted him, and I had him. So I looked like, literally, I mean, you've seen Frankenstein, all those stitches. That's how I looked. And
Wow.
I still don't remember the car accident. I just know what I've been told and reports and newspaper clippings. But I know when I woke up, I didn't recognize me. And then what were you, like 17?
No,
16?
younger. Yeah, about 16.
Yeah, being
15,
about 16,
15, something like
being beautiful, and then having 86 stitches across your face, and then I lost teeth, and
Mm.
here is this attractive young boy waiting for me every day in the hospital to wake up. Could have been on dates, could have been hanging out with his boys, but he chose to stay by my side. And I had to learn how to walk and everything again. I mean, I was in a coma for a good while.
Wow.
So having this young boy stay with me day and night, I knew when I got up, I was just like, this is it. I'm not looking at my boyfriend. I am looking at my future husband.
Yeah.
And I knew right then and there, I was like, this is true love, and this only happens once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
And the rest is history, literally.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably different than most.
Wow. Well, first of all, I'm glad you guys are okay.
Thank you.
But just hearing that story, it's like it's a tragic story, but a beautiful story. You know what I mean? Because like it shows the maturity of Teddy. You know what I'm saying? To stick by your side and stick through the tough times. And most people will run away because they're scared.
Exactly.
And that's not what happened. So it's really beautiful. Wow. Well, kind of perfect segue into this next question, because every relationship go through some storms. What is something that you guys hold on to get you through those moments?
Our love, honestly. I mean,
yeah.
Faith, prayer, but I mean, our love. Like, anytime that I've ever endured anything bad, we always know bad moments will pass, and we have each other. No matter what we've been through, good or bad, we've always had each other. And that's an amazing feeling, is like when stuff goes really bad in life, you have someone to fall back on. Right. And it's so reassuring. It's like I always tell him, he's my teddy bear, literally. Because when I was a kid, I had this teddy bear that I used to drag with me everywhere, and thunderstorms, anytime I was scared, I'd hold it, I'd cling to it, and it comforted me. And that's what he is. He's my comfort. He's my teddy bear.
That's all right. That is all right. Okay, so I love movies. You know what I'm saying? See the Scott Pilgrim poster behind me.
Love it.
One of my favorite. Thank you. One of my favorite movies, romantic movies, is this movie called Crazy Stupid Love, and it has Steve Carell in it, Julianne Moore, and I wanted to know, because at times, the movies can exaggerate stuff. So, is there a movie that you guys both mutually love that you think represents true love the way it should be?
I'm gonna call you Noah. You gotta call me Allie.
Yeah, I think it's like there's a couple of movies, but I think the main one, probably like The Notebook, would be a great for us. I think everybody can see that. Some can relate, some can't. Not every part of the segment of that movie is relatable, but majority of it, as far as the love they share for each other.
Yeah. How Noah stuck by her when they were older with the Alzheimer's disease. That's Teddy. That's Teddy with our accident standing by me. And anytime that, I've gone through anything with illness or whatever, he's never left my side. And if I ever ended up with Alzheimer's or any other sickness in that nature, I know he would be there just waiting every day to get, even if it's 5 seconds like Noah did, just a moment with Allie. And that's us. That's totally us.
Yeah. There's so many more movies. There's Vow, all kinds of love movies.
Right.
There's another one there too. There's so many. We love movies as well. I literally have a whole closet full of movies when you could buy DVDs and Blu-rays.
You would love it. There's thousands. There's
really?
Thousands. Yeah. Yes, it looks like a Blockbuster in one of our closets.
Oh, that's awesome. I just love that. I love the fact that you just said Blockbuster. No, because it's
Nobody else
like
probably knows what the hell we're talking about, but
right. I had interviewed another guy, a movie critic. His name is Chris Joyce, and I was telling him like, if you have a if you have a cell phone, and if you have at least 3 of the streaming apps on that cell phone, you essentially have a blockbuster video in your pocket. Because like it's crazy. I mean, it's the same process of looking at the cover art, reading the brief description, and choosing the movie. And you got that large library of movies. So okay, obviously, you guys are a really good, beautiful couple. Let me look at you guys. You guys are beautiful.
thank
So,
you.
Thank you.
but be real. I mean, be 100% real. Like, do you think it's possible to not be physically attracted to a person or someone and still have love for them and make that relationship last?
Answer that first.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, there's always has to be when you're going towards somebody, you're going to find something that's relatively attractive to someone when you first, go with somebody. It's a rare occurrence that you initially talk to somebody first and then get to fall in love with them afterwards. So like for me, yes, you have to have some type of level of attraction for something.
Mm-hmm.
Is that shallow? Yes and no. I mean, I can understand it in today's standards, but in any relationship that you go through, especially like with like Jen and I truly feel that there's got to be something that's attractive to you, whether that's that the person's mind, their looks, but looks alone doesn't go that way. You can be an incredibly beautiful person, and then the first thing that comes out your mouth, like the most things that everybody say, they just completely horrendous. They don't look like what they present them to be. So I think it goes hand in hand. Can you fall in love with someone without being attracted to them or have that show? Absolutely. I think that you can find little things to coordinate with it where you find that personality so I guess connected to you,
Right.
that it's more than just looks. Like there's plenty of great examples of that, but those are very small examples compared to the wide spectrum of everybody that's out there in today's society.
I would have never let him talk to me if he wasn't good looking. I'm different now, but when
right.
when I was younger, like I had never dated before him, and he asks all his friends. They try to talk to me. I was very mean. Yeah. So because he was so good looking, I let him to go along in high school and chase after me because I liked him. But I mean, if it was now as an adult and if he wasn't as attractive and I didn't know him and he started talking to me, I would definitely, without him being as gorgeous as he is, I would definitely fall in love with his personality, because even back in high school, seeing him was just awesome. I mean, he was hot. And then, getting to know him, it made it even like more attractive, because after knowing like, okay, he's not only good looking and he dresses nice and he's got a gorgeous smile, but also he's got the personality that just went along with the package. So I literally got the whole package. I mean, there's no denying that.
You guys are so sweet.
Oh man, for so many years, it still makes me feel super uncomfortable.
I mean, I don't take compliments well either, but I can relate to what you're saying. Like okay, you guys are not my therapist, so I'm just gonna keep it moving. All right, so you guys are parents. So how did becoming parents change your world?
We were parents at 18. Yeah, we got married at 17. We had our first son at 18. I don't think most people know that. We were babies ourselves.
Yeah, it was something that I thought I was ready for, being that young, because it was something that wasn't like, oops, we now have a child. It was something that we planned that young.
Yeah.
But being a dad and the thought of it, and then actually physically being a father, it doesn't prepare you truly, no matter how much you think you're prepared to being a father or mother. As you get into it, you learn it. It's on a day by day, minute by minute job, and then your whole life gets turned around. I mean, it's no longer about you and your partner or your spouse. It's about that child, making sure you can provide the best possible life for him or her, plus what you have as your foundation as a mom and dad. With my son, when he was first born, he was a motivation for wanting to be the best, do the best in our family, in our life, and then making sure I can do as much as I can to make him have an achievement or a goal to do better or be better, as Jen would say a lot, for that next level, for the next generation that'll come through. Because I think it's with most of us, we want to do or be better or as achieved as your parents are. At least as long as they give you a good foundational start,
Yeah.
You should be able to honor that and keep that going forward. So that's what we try to instill. That's how it changed me to want to give my children, my kid, my first son at that time, more and drive to say, okay, my dad did this for me.
Yeah.
Do this for myself as well as my family in the future. So give them something to kind of reflect on, like as if you're looking for a hero in your life, or somebody that you look up to. It shouldn't just be people that you don't know, but someone that's right there with you.
Right.
I agree. And yeah, it was growing up immediately. I mean, planning it, talking about it, even reading books. It's when you have an actual child, boy, it changes everything. And a lot of people say that children bring you closer. They really don't. They don't.
Oh, wow.
They don't. I'm speaking honest. That doesn't mean that we don't regret it. We obviously have 3, and we wanted 3. We wanted 6, but God said no, so we got 3.
Okay.
But it's just it's no longer you and your partner. It is another little person that you're responsible for, a whole another life that you're literally responsible not only just for taking care of physically, but also mentally and emotionally, and being that guidance throughout life. I think we did a great job though with all 3 of them.
Yeah, I believe so too.
Our son looks just like his daddy, but he's my color. Same face as him, but my color. And his personality, even the way he speaks, like I have to turn around because I'm never sure who's talking to me, if it's his dad or him. They sound exactly alike. Same personality and everything.
And so you said there's 3, because I thought there was only 2, but there's 3. Okay. All right. And I know I seen your daughter do some of the TikToks with you guys.
She's the only one that will participate in those. The boys are like, no. Our oldest got married recently, and then our middle one is in high school, and then we got our baby. And she is the only little girl here.
Hold on for a second. Did you say one of your children got married?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that. I'm thinking like you guys have like a bunch of teenagers.
No.
Crazy. Wow. Did you, if it's not too personal, I wanted to know, like, since you guys had the kids at that age, did you guys have a good support system?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Completely good support system. I mean, especially with his family, everyone was doing, the arranged marriages, and they get married really young.
Yeah.
So they were all for it. Like his mom was so excited when we were pregnant, when we were getting married, like so supportive. I mean, I love his family's my family. So yeah. Awesome. His family's much bigger than my family. My family's very tiny. His family's huge, and I love it.
So I'm sorry. So your ethnicity is, if you don't mind me asking, Teddy?
It's Guyanese, which is South America, Guyana.
Cool.
Yeah. So it's all Indian culture, completely with like reggae, West Indian music, nice. Soca, chutney.
Cool.
Curry.
Yeah.
I love curry.
Lots of curry.
Yeah. And of course, Jenny, you're Puerto Rican, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I know you can tell because I'm loud.
No. I don't look at it like that at all. But yeah, Hey, I'm black. So anyway, Jenny, so I want you're very open about you living with MS, which is multiple sclerosis, and I wanted to know what is something you want the audience to know about your everyday living?
Um, my smile is my mask. It doesn't mean that I'm not happy. I wake up at 4 a.m. every day. I'm excited for life because I'm here. I get to open
Yes.
my eyes every day. It's a new day. I love it. I love mornings. Um, it's not easy though, and literally my smile is my mask. I never let anyone know when I'm in pain, and I'm in pain a lot. It's a painful illness. They don't warn you how painful it is when you're first diagnosed. Like, it kind of takes you by surprise, especially some of the symptoms are very odd. It kind of feels like bolts of electricity hitting you and knocking you down.
Mm.
But what I want everyone to know, whether you have MS or any autoimmune related disease or any disease, period, stay positive, stay strong, keep on going. The depression from multiple sclerosis will kill you before the disease. So
Mm.
it's important to have a very positive attitude with this and just keep pushing. It doesn't matter if one day you wake up, you can't walk, you can't talk, you feel drunk, because I wake up like that all the time. It's just part of the illness. You got to literally keep on going. And when it's my time to go on this earth, and God says it's time for me to go, it's not going to be from this illness. It will not be. It will be from old age, because I am not going anywhere until I'm like 300. I'm stubborn enough. I want to live, and I don't want to be in a wheelchair, and I refuse to let this disease take me, because that's what MS and every other autoimmune disease will do. It'll take over your life and control everything, including how you feel. I refuse. And I have a great support team with my husband and now my kids, because all three of them know as of now, because my daughter didn't know recently.
Okay.
She found out with the whole like illness thing. That was really hard to explain to her. So
Yeah, right on, man. Keep on pushing, man. I admire you for, being open about that because, um, most people, kind of keep it to themselves, but it's good that you let your audience knows, and make them aware because, you never know who might, somebody might be going through something similar or the same thing.
it was actually a blessing, because even with my husband, my children, my family, that their great support has always been with me. I have met so many MS warriors on TikTok that have reached out to me. It feels so good because it's like I'm not alone. Nobody can share
Yeah.
like therapies and different things we're doing to stay afloat. So it's been a big blessing, like a really big blessing coming out. And we even had a lot of family that didn't know I had this disease for many years. I've gotten so good at pretending I'm okay. I mean, like, I deserve a nomination for this, an Emmy. I deserve.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yes.
My cousin actually, he was diagnosed with MS a few years back, and he's still pushing. He's still working, and so, I actually told him that I was going to be interviewing you guys, and I told him like, about your situation. He said he's going to make sure to watch and listen.
Awesome.
All right.
His name is Butch, so shout out to Butch.
Hey,
um,
Butch.
yes. Okay, so I remember talking to her. I used to work in retail, and I remember talking to an older married couple. I can't remember their names. And they had been married for at that time for 50, like going on 50 years. And I said, okay, what's the secret? You know what I'm saying? And they said, collectively, they said communication and never going to bed angry. So you guys been pushing for 25 years, which is awesome. So what's your secret? What's your secret for keeping it going?
Well, I think like when you before we get into that, I think when you speak to a lot of folks that are out there, and they normally give you a short answer to that. And that's with me as well. Like I speak to a lot of older folks, especially when I was younger. And as you're younger, you grow into and you learn how to be a married individual, man, woman, whoever it is, and you're growing with that person. You're constantly changing and you're constantly adapting. So it's not just those two pieces. Yes, you never go to bed angry at each other because you never know what tomorrow brings. and you want to live today and every day as, like maybe the old saying of this is like your last, your one and only day. You're here, you're living now. Live for the moment, live for today.
Right.
That's a part of it. You definitely, any kind of complications, arguments that you guys may incur, hash it out, talk it, and communication. Communication is key. It's crucial with a successful marriage. If you don't have that, and you don't know what the other person wants or needs, like there's a lot of TikTok videos, for example, or videos in general that there's women out there that won't communicate to their man. They expect their man to know. It's like, we are not mind readers at all. The only way to know anything is exactly how you expand your mind and knowledge is through reading and to understanding and to speaking about it. So that's why I expand on communication. Getting through 25 years as well is, you're constantly learning everything about that person. It's not just about you. You're finding on so many levels that you don't even understand about yourself, let alone learning about someone else. So it's a constant grow. I think it's a push and pull methodology with that, relationship wise.
Yeah.
And you have to be open-minded, because everybody, as you grow the different stages, you're not going to be the same person you were 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. You're constantly evolving. So you have to grow with your partner, and you constantly have to adapt to whatever is going on, for the good, not the bad. Right. If you see anything, you got to be, either man or woman enough to say, hey, get yourself aligned, because this is not working. You got to figure that out sometimes too. So I think that's my part, some of it, without going into a whole segment of 2 hours of the conversation.
That's a real answer, though. It's real. But Jenny, what do you think?
I made a joke. I was going to say sex, but no. We're not on a podcast. Let me stop.
That's a big part of it too.
It is, yeah.
You have the level of chemistry as well. It can't just be bland, and that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
But we're not here for that right now, Miss E.
But no, like dating, forever dating. We're actually talking about making a book together regarding that. We've literally been dating for 25 years, because when we go out, we don't act like we're married for 25 years. We act like we're boyfriend and girlfriend. A lot of people that meet us, they think we're dating. They think we're dating, and they're shocked. They're like, you've been married? It's just, we always keep that mentality. And I think that's what keeps us young, is that we keep the mentality of when we were 15, like getting ready for your dates and putting on that special cologne or perfume, getting all dolled up and going out somewhere nice and just laughing. And laughter is so important in a marriage. I feel him and I are totally yin and yang. He's the more serious one, obviously. I'm the jokester. And it works though, because I love making him laugh. Like, I will do the stupidest things around no one else but him. I will do the stupidest things because when I see him crack up laughing, it makes me laugh. So yeah.
I think the other thing too is be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yes.
Always, like as if it's your first time and it's your last. Like I said in the beginning, don't get so comfortable where you're in relationship that you forget about all the things, or you forget that you don't really appreciate the person that you're with anymore, because you get too comfortable to the point that okay, she or he is always going to be there no matter what. Whatever. I don't care how he or she is feeling. Or like something I thought about a while back is all these videos about independent women. Why are there so many single women out there? Get off your high horse.
You're gonna get back.
And I'm gonna get a lot of nonsense in that. But reality is,
it's real.
Is a man can sit there and say to another person, I'm gonna go make this work. I'm gonna work really, really hard. I want that family. I'm gonna do everything I can. But if you have a woman that's the same mentality as a man, they're like, I don't need no man at all. Well, that doesn't work between two butting heads relationships. It doesn't work. You got to be one. So that's
Right.
one thing to express. You can't be a fighting opposite. Two negatives don't make it positives. You got to have that, again, that yin
Yeah,
and yang.
yin and yang. Yeah, it's totally like you gotta have, and you gotta be willing to compromise, because if you don't compromise, then that's a deal breaker.
Big thing.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. I know we're going a little bit more on that.
No, I love it. I love it. That was a good, and I love what you said. When people give you bits and pieces of advice, they don't, but there's so much more than just those two things. You know what I mean? So I mean, I thought that was great. So I want to say, like, I've been listening to you guys' podcast and creaming my coffee. And I love the dynamic between both of you guys. It reminds me of it kind of reminds me of Puff Daddy and Mace, because Mace is like, man, I'm just Mace, I'm chilling. That's Teddy.
He's one tone, yeah. He's not
yeah. Love that energy. Love it, man. But you guys, like, I expected when you guys talk about come out with a podcast, I was super excited about it, and I expected just to be focused on relationships, but you guys touch on relationships, business, empathy, and health. So what are some of the other subjects you want to tackle in the near future? Admire you guys, because you guys don't mess around. I mean, when you guys said you come out with a podcast, you came out with a podcast, it was like boom, cups and all that good stuff. So what are some of the other subjects you want to tackle?
Well, it's definitely always going to be focused on relationships, regardless of what direction we're taking with it. I think that we're going to focus more on each other, and with the podcast, you're probably going to be, assuming that you're still going to come on the show.
Yes, definitely. I can't wait.
You'll probably actually be our last interview for a while.
Okay.
Only because I think that it's just easier for us to let loose. And we joke a lot, if you haven't noticed, on the podcast. We stop the podcast a lot too, because we we're crazy. So that's besides the point. So I think that we're just going to focus. We have some topics that we're going to be discussing for the month of February. Actually, tomorrow, Monday, is the start of a new series for our podcast, The 5 Senses. So each Monday, we'll be taking a sense and we'll be discussing it. And the first one being sight. And then we'll go from there. And then we'll also going to talk about, I think, fetishes and kinks in the months to come, and a whole bunch of other things.
Nice.
I think we're, like, Jen is really the mastermind behind a lot of the podcasts. So, I mean, she's got a lot of good ideas, and then we share things sometimes. Like this month, we'll do the 5 senses, all the way through. We've got only a short few weeks in February, but like February, it's, we thought it would be a good idea to kind of theme things sometimes, since it's the month of love, as well as Black History Month, both. Why not have something that's a little bit of both? But we kind of correlate or combine it all together. Like spring may be something else. It may come up with an idea with something that might correlate with it. Sometimes our subscribers or our followers on TikTok or any social media, Instagram or Facebook, would say something like, "Hey, how about you talk a little bit about this, expand on this? We'd love to hear that."
And we listen.
We listen to everybody.
We've gotten some really good subjects, half of them being from our followers that write us and say, "Hey, can you talk about this?"
Right on. Yeah. Right on this question. Because I have a question. Because you guys have like 2 totally different schedules, right? And so are you guys able to actually record together, or do you have to, like, Teddy record and then you add it on, or what? Or are you guys able to, like, make it work with you guys' schedules?
No, we make it work. We record together always. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of times I come off of work and I'm tired. I'm very tired. Trying to make that work with a minimal sleep sometimes, that's sometimes what I have to do.
Yeah, we've had followers say, "Hey, give him an energy drink," because I feel so bad, but he puts his commitment, and that's love and dedication, because he knows it makes me happy. So
right on.
It doesn't matter how tired he is, he'll come and he'll do the podcast with me, and yeah.
Basically,
that's your podcast room, right? That's pretty cool. We got the whole setup. Yeah, right on. All right. So you guys have like quite the following on TikTok. I think it's like 50,000 viewers, which is really cool. So for people who are just starting out, do you have any advice for them, as far as like, if they want to give up or whatever, do you have any advice?
Don't give up. post, post, post. Post 3 to 4 times a day, and it does have to be consistent every day. Don't miss that spot. Actually, I have certain slots that I post. If you look at, once you start on TikTok, you get, the analytics, and you'll see your followers when they actually look at your stuff the most. So I post during those slots, and I do post 3 to 4 times a day, every day. And I've been doing that. It's been we've been on TikTok for like 8 months, and I've been doing that every day consistently. And also, once you hit that 1,000 mark, when you're new with your followers, definitely go live. Go live as much as you can, interact, engage with your followers. We have over 50,000 followers now. There's some that we've built really great relationships and friendships with that I feel like we know them by name, first names. And they're always interacting on my lives. They're always talking through our homepage website, DMing us back and forth, like how was their day, and just really nice. And more MS Warriors with me, and I love it. We've made some really actual good friends on TikTok. You being one of them.
Yeah, definitely. And I appreciate it so much, man. You guys have always like show a lot of love and support towards the special delivery show. And I mean, you have no idea. I really, really appreciate that.
Number one on our podcast list.
I appreciate that so much.
You're the reason why we got started. There would be no Cream in My Coffee podcast if we hadn't met you. Once I met you and I told him about, he has this, and he listened, we were like, wait a minute, we could relate to you on a lot of, we're from the same era. So we could relate to you on a lot of different levels, and just hearing you talk with people, we were like, we wanted to do that. So
wow.
Thank you, Smithy.
Well, thank you. I mean, that's really great to hear. You know what I'm saying? It's because I don't know. I've actually like I put out there like on one episode, not even an episode, but a snippet was like here's my email address. I just want to get some feedback, and I haven't gotten anything. So to get some feedback from somebody and it's positive, and even if it was negative, still just to get some kind of feedback it's really great, and it keeps me going, because it's like I don't know. I know I have listeners, I just never, I haven't gotten contact with anybody yet, but it'll happen one day, and I really appreciate you saying that. How can people reach you? I know you have TikTok, and I know you have an Instagram. So how can people reach you?
We have TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and obviously the podcast. They could reach us. Any one of those websites has our Linktree link that has all our socials, and our homepage as well. I think the easiest way though is through those apps, because our homepage is acting up a little bit lately.
Yeah. Just send a message directly to one of the social media accounts, either TikTok or Instagram, Facebook, any of them, and direct link, or they should have our email information on there too. So either way, email
creaminmycoffee97@gmail.com,
or directly through a direct message. We'll filter through it. We just have so many messages to go through.
We get thousands, honestly. I think that's why our homepage has been glitching out.
Wow.
I tell everyone, if you follow us on a social, try to get to our homepage and like subscribe, because that way, if they DM us, I get like this doorbell sound on both of our phones. It's pretty cool, and we can respond right away. We've been getting a lot of messages back to back, so it's been acting a little weird. But yeah, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So so again, your email address is creaminmycoffee97@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you guys
so
much.
We always respond.
Yes. But I really appreciate you guys' time. What are you guys doing for Valentine's Day?
Where are we going?
Or you guys got anything planned, or?
We've been celebrating every day.
Yeah.
We do things a little backwards. We're actually talking about that tomorrow on our podcast. For us, every year Valentine's Day starts February 1st. and we are very competitive with romance, which gets a little funny because our house right now, like the whole house, looks like if St. Valentine's Day just threw up in it. There's there's decorations, teddy bears, balloons, like it's just everywhere, every corner. And we get our kids gifts just like Christmas. Like it's just
Nice.
it gets crazy. Our Valentine's Day is our favorite holiday. So every day we get each other something. Every week when he's off, we go out somewhere, and we definitely are going out tonight. Most likely wine tasting.
Doing a lot of the wine tasting for sure.
I love wine tasting.
It's fun.
You guys look incredibly young. I don't know how old you are. That's none of my business. But you're blah. So what's your secret? What do you guys do to stay so young? Aside from being youthful, I mean, what's your? Do you have a specific diet or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think first thing is your mental health. That's the first thing. Be very clear. Reduce the amount of stress and issues around you. Stress is a huge part. Take care of your body. Don't overdo a certain activity. Like I'm not going to preach to most of us, but I'll tell you what we do. We don't drink like a whole lot and abuse it. We do not smoke at all.
No.
Those are some of the things that you see effects from friends and family members over time. It changes your physical appearance mentally and physically. Now, if you do that, we're not bashing.
We're not that. Yeah, no. Like live you, do you, have fun.
That's just us.
Yeah.
That's just
yeah.
But I think with me too, like Jen could probably agree with this too. I think working out and putting that workout into your weekly routine somehow, some way, make every moment of your day or your week count. Don't just let it go to waste and just sit down not doing nothing.
Yeah.
Being active and being proactive, I think, are big keys. Naturally, I think also it has to go with genetics. Like dark-skinned folks like myself, we typically look a lot younger as we get older.
I'm so jealous of his skin. I pay so much money for my products, and he doesn't do anything. He just looks glowy and fabulous all the time. And I'm just like, what the hell?
Wow. Yeah, now, I've been hearing, and this is something me and my barber talked about, the benefits of a cold shower. Pharrell from the Neptunes, he's always talked about, cold water and the benefits of cold water, as well as is it Chris Hemsworth. He has a whole documentary about it where he does these things where he pushes his body to the limit. And I think he was in Antarctica where he decided to just like go full throttle with just a shirt on and some shorts and do some crazy stuff. So do you guys practice that as well, as far as cold showers? And
not showers. I physically can't do that because I don't just have multiple sclerosis. I have a couple of other autoimmune they kind of just branch out altogether. I just don't talk about them because they do all the same stuff. But I can't do the cold showers. But what I do is ice cubes to the face every night. And I, put them and let it sit after I wash up all my makeup. And that seems to help out a whole lot.
Yeah, Jen has a whole routine with different things. I personally,
he does
the cold showers and the heat, I think, goes well, is a big part of like a workout routine, a weightlifting type thing. They do like you do a heated sauna and then go and take an immediate cold shower. The heat and the cold reflect, stimulate your body. So that would help. Yes, it's proven to work. Not everybody, but most folks adapts well to it. It's
12 o'clock.
Those can't can't go through that.
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
I heard it. I was like, what is that?
That's weird. Okay.
That is weird. Okay.
Yeah, I've never experienced that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, sorry. That might be our computer. I don't know.
It's 12 o'clock. I'm like, ooh, technology. Coming on. I really.
No problem.